So we looked at Sweet Home Alabama before, and we didn't do very much with it. We just had the basic chord sequence. So now we're going to have a look at targeting the right notes for the chord, and also this will help make the song sound a little bit more like what you would expect. Now, we have said before about the X's over certain strings, meaning that we're not to play those strings. So for the D chord, we have to avoid this string and this one. So we have to avoid strings 5 and 6. So we want to start from here, the 4th string. So have your fingers on the D chord, and we're going to play that string on its own, and then the rest of the chord. Okay, so that's our D chord starting on the 4th string. Okay. Then our C add 9 chord, we want to start on the 5th string. And then our G chord, you can start on, you can hit all the strings with this one, so starting on the 6th string, and then the rest of the chord. So what I'd like you to do for me is play the starting note for each chord twice, like so, and then play the rest of the chord. For example, we have our D, so the first note twice, then the rest of the chord. Move on to C add 9, and then a G. Okay, if we add all that together, we'll have sounds a little bit more like Sweet Home Alabama now than it did before. So if you need to look at what your right hand is doing, that's perfectly fine. So you just need to maybe watch and make sure that your pick is targeting the right note. But what we want to avoid is the idea of looking at the right hand, then looking at the left hand, then going back and checking the right hand again. That will just slow you down. Okay, so we need to, if you're going to look at the right hand, you need to have this hand confident of where it's going. So that exercise we spoke about before, where your fingers move to each chord. So practice that first of all. Then don't look at your left hand, just look at the right hand. Have a little bit of faith, have a little bit of confidence in your left hand that it will know where it's going. If you make a lot of mistakes and it just isn't working, well then you go back and you practice that exercise again to make sure that those fingers are a little bit more certain about where they're going. Then practice targeting your strings again. Also, it's a good idea to practice it the opposite way around. So you purposely look at your left hand and not look at your right hand. So we want our right hand to try and learn the distance it needs to travel to target each string. Okay, so something like this maybe. If you're doing that exercise and you did hit some wrong strings, it's not the end of the world. Just go back through the whole process again. Practice looking at the right hand, targeting the right strings. When you feel a little bit more comfortable with that, go back, look at the left hand, try and use your ear to listen and get your right hand to gauge what distance it has to travel to target strings. It probably will not work perfectly the first time, so don't be worried about it. Just go back through it and practice it again.